If you've followed my channel for any amount of time, subscribe by the way, excuse me, you'll know that I have a burning hate for mono elemental teams. Now, where does this hate come from, you might ask? Good question, good question. The only problem is that it was actually a horrible question. Also, forgive me if I speak a little strangely, I was just at the dentist and my mouth is somewhat numbed up still. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. Why would I want to go through a game designed to entice the player to use any of the many elemental reactions with plenty of character options nearing 20 that are at least viable semi? Flip those last two words around, but you get the point. I just wanted to end on a rhyme. I may have only made my hate clear for mono geo teams so far on this channel, but trust me, my hatred runs far, far deeper than that. However, I digress. That's a topic for another video. Right now, we shall discuss elemental resonance. Most people should know what it is by now, and if you don't, I am most definitely concerned for your mental well-being. But either way, we'll go through them all one by one and make some tiny little changes here and there. This first video on the subject, we'll start with Pyro, Fervent Flames. Affected by Cryo for 40% less time, increases attack by 25%. Okay, so my first problem with elemental resonance as a whole is the affected by blank for 40% less time. A completely useless, stupid effect that's found on Pyro, Cryo, Electro, and Hydro. If you couldn't tell by my voice, which is absolutely seething disgust at this point, this will be the first thing we're going to change. It's pretty simple actually, so just delete the current effect and replace it with this. Increases Pyro and Cryo resistance by 20% each. And of course this would be for Pyro only. The 20% is just what I think a good starting point would be, and if you put a third Pyro character on the team, I don't think it would be too crazy to make it 30 or even 40%. My reasoning for this change is simple. If your team is mostly Pyro, they should be less affected by their own element, correct? Plus, they might as well get resistance to another of the main 4 elements, since MiHoYo seemed to want it that way. Okay, so believe it or not, I'm not quite done with Pyro just yet. The passive 25% attack buff is also extremely stupid in my humble opinion. I understand what they were trying to go for, but it's just way too much stronger than the other passives from Elemental Resonance. So instead, let's bring it back in line with the others while also avoiding infringing on any of the other Resonance's specialties. My solution is an increase in crit damage. Not crit rate, but don't worry, I'll be giving that to one of the other elements when I rework them. So, the 2 character effect would look something like this. Increases Pyro and Cryo resistance by 20% each. Increases crit damage by 20%. And then the completely new 3 character effect would look like this. Increases Pyro and Cryo resistance by 40% each. Increases crit damage by 30% and attack by 5%. I decided to throw in a tiny bit of the old attack boost because using 3 of the same element characters in one team does severely limit your options for the most part. And I wasn't planning on making 4 element effects in this series, but I suppose I'll throw one in as we're closing up here. 4 character effect will look something like this. Increases Pyro and Cryo resistance by 60% each, increases crit damage by 40%, and attack by 15%. I think this definitely might be too powerful, but I also think that Hoyoverse could balance this out by either slightly changing the numbers or by using a variety of enemies in endgame content so that mono teams struggle at least a little more. Well, either way, I really enjoyed making this, and if you made it this far, I hope you enjoyed listening. I'll be making the next one soon, which will be Hydro. Make sure to leave a like, drop a comment, and softly caress that subscribe button. Other than that, I hope to see you in my next video.